Good morning, warriors. When you open your eyes and you start to connect the dots, you will see that everything is planned out. This isn't just happening overnight. You're not seeing the biggest shift in generational wealth and a shift to a new monetary system just because of a pandemic. These things have been planned out for a long time. We went through a crisis in 2008. It wasn't fixed. And now here we are, looking for a solution. And they are going to give us a solution, warriors. I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready? My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you haven't checked out my podcast, the Coach JV podcast, you can get on iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, wherever you consume podcasts, Spotify. I go every single day. Almost 2 YouTube videos a day, over 850 podcasts, 5,000 social media posts, almost 700 YouTube videos, just coming to give you free information to inform you so you can make informed decisions. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. I'm pumping out these videos on a daily basis. So what I've been doing, and it's been very popular and people are enjoying, is my commentary and my opinion on these videos. These are all great videos. I'm going to attach them down in the bio here. Make sure you follow these people. Make sure you go watch these videos, the full video, so you can understand and educate yourself. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to inform you and help you understand that you have the power to make decisions. You also don't have to follow the narrative, and you can create your own narrative and protect your family and build generational wealth. So today, I really want to break down where we're heading. I want to keep connecting the dots for you guys to help you make informed decisions on where you should invest your money and how you can protect your family in the future. And for some of you, like me, who's going to build generational wealth and freedom for my family, you have that opportunity right now. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. This is about connecting the dots and asking yourself, where should I put my hard-earned money when my dollar is deflating dramatically right now? Okay, so we're going to start out with this video here, and I'll do my insights back and forth. The Roundtable Insight. This is a former Fed advisor, Danielle DiMartino Booth, on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, she wrote a book called Fed Up. I'm actually getting the book right now. I will do the book, and I'll get it out to you guys. I'm going to try to get her on as an interview. That is my goal, so put it out to the universe. I would love to interview. She is former insider in the Fed. Check this out. This is now what you want the context. Okay, this is 2017, 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago, about a month to the day. Okay, so listen to what she's saying, and then I'm going to fast forward to where we're at now. This is 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, or 3 years ago, excuse me.
Bloomberg Radio, Fox News, Fox Business News, and other major media outlets. Prior to Money Strong, she served as advisor to the Dallas Federal Reserve President Richard Fisher. Welcome, Danielle.
So happy to be here.
Great. I thought we'd begin with your book there. Having worked for the Federal Reserve, the title appears to be very strong. An insider's take on why the Federal Reserve is bad for America. Your thoughts on that? Why is it bad for America?
Well, listen, it's not so much that I think the Federal Reserve needs to go away. I just think that in its current form, or at least the form that it's been in since August the 11th, 1987, when Alan Greenspan took office, has ended up being very bad for our country. We have ended up on a series of booms and busts, and I, for one, am tired of being on this roller coaster and think that it is high time we reinvent the Fed, take it down to the studs, and build it from the ground up and make it an institution that is good for America.
And you recently commented on the Federal Reserve in terms of their biggest fear. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, look, we haven't, there's a fallacy here, Richard. We have not just come through an era of deleveraging. If you look back at 2007, there was $150 trillion of credit globally in the market. Today, we have over $220 trillion of debt globally in the credit markets. So what we've actually seen is a very aggressive re-leveraging, over-leveraging of the global debt markets in order to eke out the economic growth that we have seen. And I lay the blame for that at the world central bankers printing money to kingdom come, trying to create enough debt to spur economic growth. But the question I have is at what price? And I don't think the central bankers want to answer that question. I think the $70 trillion in debt build that we've seen since the outbreak of the great financial crisis is their greatest fear. It keeps them up at night.
Okay, so it's their greatest fear. This is in 2017. 2017. We went through the housing crash in 2008. More money has been printed than in history in the past 8 months during our pandemic. Think about that. They are freaking out. They started the Fed coin, the Fed now. Think about this, Warriors. They are freaking out. They're lowering interest rates. They're one last Hail Mary trying to stimulate the economy. It has to move to the new quantum financial system.
Do you think central bankers have boxed themselves in a corner? Is there any way out? Can they actually implement quantitative tightening?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. I laugh every time I hear that quantitative tightening, that the shrinking of the Fed's balance sheet is going to occur on autopilot. They're deluding themselves if they don't think that this is a form of tightening when on day one, headed into this experiment of unraveling and shrinking of the balance sheet, the Fed owns 33% of all mortgage-backed securities in the country. They're deluding themselves. So, it remains to be seen if the Fed is going to remain agnostic to all data and continue shrinking the balance sheet while they continue to increase interest rates at the same time. It's double tightening if you think about it.
And what about other central banks? So what are your thoughts on what they're thinking and potentially doing?
You know, I'm very dear friends with...
So I want to share my perspective. You can comment down below if you think I'm wrong. So think about this. So they were raising interest rates back then, trying to stimulate. Now we're in a very dangerous position. They are printing trillions and trillions of dollars, and they lowered interest rates now. Lowered interest rates, and we may go sub-zero interest rates. We're in a dangerous position financially.
With a regular guest of yours, Peter Buffett, and he lays out some very simple math. If you add together what the Federal Reserve says it's going to be shrinking its balance sheet by, 400 some odd billion dollars run rate this time next year, and what Mario Draghi has committed to doing with the ECB in terms of tapering the ECB's purchases. At this time, as we're looking towards the holidays in 2018, we could theoretically have $1 trillion less of global quantitative easing liquidity propping up these financial markets. It's a big number, and I think we have to take into context where that's going to put these markets from the starting point of unprecedented, historic overvaluation.
Is there any connection with what central banks have been doing to the rise of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin?
It is an unequivocal, staring straight in the mirror reflection of investors and citizens worldwide, of their anxiety with what is being done to destroy fiat currencies because of all of this money printing going on. Bitcoin has risen up in the face of what I call a de facto but very quiet, stealthy currency war in a world where we're beginning to understand, and this is with all due deference to gold bugs, that it's not practical to go back on a gold standard. So we're looking for an alternative. But Richard, I have deep fears about what central banks are going to do once the cryptocurrency technology is perfected.
Boom. She has deep fears on what the Fed's going to do. You know what the Fed did? They created their own Fed now. It's already created. They're getting on board the game. JP Morgan's on board. Bank of America's on board. Wells Fargo's on board. PayPal's on board. I could go on and on, okay? And so she says she has fear of what they're going to do. They created their own Fed now. They're going to get the piece of the pie. Everybody's going to get the piece of the pie as you're asleep, okay? This is 2017. Now let's fast forward, okay? She said, we can't really move back to a gold standard. That's old school, right? We're moving into new quantum financial system, the new fourth industrial revolution. Well, let's see what Judy Shelton got ushered into the Feds this year. Let's see what she says.
Mention the gold standard. I think you're quite well known for your stance on the gold standard. Would returning to gold standard help the U.S. economy? Can you talk a little about your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say I don't see it so much as returning, but more of a back to the future.
Okay.
I think that what a gold standard stands for is monetary discipline for its own sake. That is, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field?
Boom. How many times have I said level monetary playing field, cryptocurrency type of way? 2017. She's talking about people, the smart money is getting scared. The billionaires, the millionaires are like, we can't trust the Fed. What do we need to do with our money? So people are rushing into cryptocurrency. And right now, warriors, it is about to take off because think about 2017, what she was talking about. Look what's happened this year. Now we're pumping money into the economy. We have a contested election. Globally, we're going through a financial crash. We're moving into the new Green Deal, which is going to be the fourth industrial revolution, which is all technology. So do you think we're going to still operate on the old monetary system, the SWIFT system? Absolutely not. So your neighbor who's saying that cryptocurrency is a fraud, you might want to look at how they're investing their money. They're probably still writing checks. It's time to evolve, warriors. This is just about awareness. I'm not telling you where to put your money. Well, let's see what Warren Buffett's doing. The person who said that people who do gold are gold bugs. Warren Buffett is running for the hills as well.
Today's program is a very important program because Buffett, who has badmouthed gold for years, invested $560 billion or $1 million or some ungodly number that none of us use to buy shares in Barrick gold mining. Now, the reason that's important is not so much what he bought. The question is, what did he dump? He dumped all airline stocks, and he dumped banking stocks, including, J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So the question we have for you, what does that mean to you? If he's dumping airlines and he's dumping banking stocks, but he's buying Barrick Gold Company.
And he used to talk bad about gold, right?
Let me give you some quotes from Buffett, just so you don't doubt my word here. This is Warren Buffett. Gold gets dug out of the ground in Africa or someplace. Then we melt it down, dig another hole, bury it again, and pay people to stand around guarding it. It has no utility. Anyone watching from Mars would be scratching their head, Warren Buffett. And then Munger, his partner, who's 96, Buffett turned 90. It's a much better life to work with businesses and people engaged in business. I can't imagine a worse crowd to deal with than a bunch of gold bugs. So now these two old guys, 90 and 96, they're eating their words. It's 560 billion or 560.
So we're going to stop right there, warriors. Are you starting to see the narrative? Everybody's running for the hills. All the smart money's running for the hills. As you sit there and wait for your stimulus check, and you sit there and you work for your job, and you just work for your paycheck every single day, just over broke. You're just sitting there enslaved to this money, right? This fiat dollar that's deflating as the Federal Reserve is getting involved in the crypto game. They're starting their own Fed now. It's already created, guys. Look at the Banking for All Act. It's created. It's done. Look at Executive Order 13772. The Digital Currency Task Force, it's already created. JP Morgan created their own blockchain, where the Ethereum type blockchain, where they're inviting other blockchains to operate on theirs. Bank of America has the most patents for cryptocurrency. Wells Fargo's invested $5 million in a cryptocurrency company. This is all happening behind the scenes as you're going and buying toilet paper. Just wake up. Wake up. Warren Buffett went out of bank stocks, increased in Bank of America. I know why. My opinion is they're with Ripple, who's Ripple XRP, which is going to be the bridge currency for the world. Not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. I'm just bringing you these videos on a daily basis to open up your mind and awareness, because you're listening to the people who are watching the news, the narrative. They're watching the news. CNN says one thing, Fox says another thing. How is that news? The news is all available. You have the supercomputer right here, or you can research. That's how I do my investing, warriors. I do it based on common sense and not doing what the 99% do. Listening to what the billionaires do and doing the opposite, watching what they do. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. So do us a huge favor. Make sure you join our private Facebook group. Link is right down here. Okay, join the private Facebook group. Get to know, trust, and like us. If you're ready to jump right in, mind, body, immunity, you work out with us live daily. Nutrition plan, 18-week mindset program, habit stacking, and also you get to look over my shoulder as I invest in the new quantum financial system, my whole portfolio, and exactly what I'm doing. I'm here to inform, help, and help you build generational wealth for a lifetime. Again, my name is Coach JV. I love you. Have an amazing day. Warriors, rise. Let's go.